Hey, come see us live. We're doing our Rumble Time show September 27th in Los Angeles. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, and we'll be in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. But let's get to our coverage of the assassination attempt. Here's the guy who did it. This guy, Ryan Wesley Routh. So back in 2022, Newsweek caught up with him. I think he's from North Carolina originally. He was living in Hawaii. Then all of a sudden he shows up in Ukraine, and Newsweek is interviewing him. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. What a coinkydink. But here's what he had to say. I'll play a little bit of it for you.
Who you are and why are you here?
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina originally, so I live in Hawaii now, so flew all the way from Hawaii here. So the question as far as why I'm here.
But first of all, I just want to say, who says America doesn't make anything anymore? Just look at Ryan Wesley Routh. He is the new 2025 model on the CIA showroom floor.
Oh, I think he's an older model than scrapping. I don't think he's a new one. Taylor Swift's a newer model. He's like an old model. So that's all he's good for. Send him over to Ukraine to blather.
His purpose is to talk antisocial loners into becoming landfill in Ukraine. Here we go.
To me, you know, a lot of the other conflicts are gray, but this conflict is definitely black and white. This is about good versus evil.
What?
So he's talking about Ukraine war, and he says a lot of conflicts are gray, but this is black and white. This is good versus evil. So he has a childlike understanding of what the Ukraine war is about. Childlike. Right. So maybe he's a mental defective. Maybe he's an asset, but he's definitely got a childlike understanding of what the Ukraine war is. And, you know, if he was a Muslim, people would be asking, and he tried to, and he did an act of terrorism. People would be asking, where did he get radicalized? Well, if you listen to this, you know where he got radicalized? Corporate news in the United States, because he repeats every stupid thing they say. He says the Ukraine war is black and white. It's between good and evil. Yeah, okay, here we go.
This is a storybook. You know, any movie we've ever watched, this is definitely evil against good. I mean, we're battling a situation.
No, I don't. You know, the good old Nazis of Ukraine? You mean those people? The good old CIA, the Victoria Nuland-inspired Maidan coup of Ukraine, the democratically elected government? You mean that kind of good? That's what he's talking about. Okay.
Every book or movie, he said. He goes, every movie you ever saw.
Yeah, yes.
Like Star Wars, moron. That's how they do MK programming. They use Star Wars and stuff.
Every movie you ever saw, this is it.
You know, the Ukrainians and the rest of the world are caring and kind and generous and unselfish and take care of one another. And it's just a matter of, you know, we need to stand up for that. That is the most important thing in the world, is just to show human beings that we're kind and we're caring and that we take care of one another and that the world is united so that we feed each other and make sure that, you know, we all move forward as one collective whole unit. So, you know, we feel the pain of one country's failure and their conflicts, and we enjoy the successes of other countries that are doing good, and we all work together. And for some reason, Russia does not grasp this concept that we're all one unit.
Russia is the country that doesn't. The United States, that just obliterated Iraq, occupied Afghanistan for 20 years, turned Libya, the most successful country in Africa, into a failed state with open slave markets and terrorists running the place. Everybody had health care, education, and housing, but nobody has any of that anymore. But Syria, Barack Obama dropped more bombs in Syria. He ran out of bombs. We're still occupying a third of that country right now. But this guy's childlike understanding is that Ukraine good, Russia bad. United States is, by the way, on the good side of that. What do you want to say?
So I just texted you this article. It's from 2015. Ryan Routh, 36, was arrested without incident.
Oh, I got that. It's coming up.
Roofing. Oh, we got it?
That's coming up. That's in here. Yeah, watch this.
And we have to get along and work together and be normal human beings. This is 2022. We have to work together. It seems asinine that we have a leader in a country that does not understand the concept of being unselfish and being generous and being kind and just the basic moral values that are required by human beings these days. It blows my mind.
It blows my mind that someone could have such a childlike understanding of world politics. The idea that somehow the United States is the good guy and Russia's the bad guy. You know, that half the world is siding with Russia in this conflict. Did you know that? It's the half of the world that's siding with us is the West. The rest of the world siding with Russia, including India.
Jimmy, it's like responding to Squeaky Fromm saying that Manson is good.
Yeah.
It's like trying to explain that. Like, he went through the program. No one's going to tell me he didn't. Look at his hair. That's what they do. He goes black and white thinking. They all get this weird, like, what do you call it? Subconscious effect where the cognitive dissonance makes them make their hair funny. That guy talks like he's been in the program. And I'll bet you he has. In fact, I would say CIA guilty till proven innocent every time I see one of these nutbags.
And what are you doing here?
What are you doing in Ukraine? They ask him. Newsweek.
My initial goal was to come and fight. I think everybody around the globe should be motivated to come here and support the Ukrainians and support the army, no matter what gender, age, anything. Everybody should be here supporting the army. But I'm 56, so initially they were like, "Well, I have no military experience," so they're like, "You're not an ideal candidate." So they said, "Not right this minute." So plan B was to come here to Kyiv and promote getting more people here. We need thousands and thousands and thousands of people here fighting with the Ukrainians. We need, we've got 190 countries around the world, and we need thousands from all of them.
Except half of those countries aren't on board with the Europe. So I guess half the country, anyway. So this 56-year-old who's too old to fight wants to talk you into dying for a country that thinks of you basically as a kitchen match. Really? Well, at least he looks like the voice of reason, doesn't he? So
his handlers want you to do that. That guy is
right.
Like yelling at a mentally crippled person.
So here's what I said. This is Donald Trump's assassin attempt suspect, Ryan Routh. He's a zealot for a Ukraine war because he's been fully propagandized and radicalized by corporate media to support the war. He has zero idea what the war is actually about. His mind is very childlike. It's a battle of good versus evil, just like the corporate news told him. That's how propaganda works. That's why I warned people at the Young Turks about pushing Russiagate uncritically. It would lead to a war and brainwash guys like this. He has no idea what the war is actually about. So when Trump and RFK say they want to end the war, he thinks the moral thing to do is assassinate Trump. This is the direct result of corporate news and independent news repeating pro-war CIA talking points uncritically. Nobody in corporate news will ask, where was he radicalized? If you watch the video, it's clear he's been radicalized by corporate news right here in the United States. And Aaron Mate also makes that point. Ryan Routh, the would-be Trump shooter, is a fanatical supporter of the U.S. proxy war in Ukraine and claims to have recruited mercenaries to fight in it. MSNBC just interviewed John Brennan. They missed an opportunity to ask him about his critical role as CIA chief during the U.S.-backed Maidan coup of 2014 in triggering the proxy war that Routh fought in and undoubtedly wants to see continued. Hey, look, if you're a borderline suicidal directionless loser with no future and nowhere to go, now you've got a hero to lead you to nowhere. If you've enjoyed MK Ultra, you'll love MK Ultra Plus. In Ukraine. So here he is. This is Primo Radical tweets out, this is your brain on MSNBC. This is this guy. Blinken, we need you. We need your armed Patriot systems and MiG jets and all the nuclear weapons and missiles taken from Ukraine. We, the civilians, must defend. So this is him screaming about wanting more war in Ukraine. That's what your brain looks like on MSNBC. Yeah.
It's not MSNBC. It's not MSNBC. But, he's a wind-up toy. He's been arrested dozens of times. How would he even be in the position he's in? They let him out of prison. They didn't have him like Manson. They'd always let him out. Someone wanted him out there doing what he's doing. Well, someone wanted him out here doing this. It's not on him. He is a wind-up vegetable artichoke.
Well, he looks like the perfect spokesperson to recruit for the Ukraine war because he looks like the stepdad that shared drugs with you while he was banging your mom. That's what he looks like.
He sounds like the guy they pinned JFK's murder on, right? That guy was like, fair play for Cuba, and he ran off to fucking Russia, right? He talks like that. He's a patsy, is what he is.
What do you think the odds are that all the shitlibs are going to riot demanding he be let out of prison? like the Israelis did to the people the guards that were raping them. And by the way, if you still are pushing Russiagate, I hate to tell you, this is what you look like.
Yeah, you are that. You're a programmed imbecile.
You're
That's
that
what
guy.
a programmed imbecile does.
You look like
that guy's got more of an excuse because he had CIA handlers.
That's
if
right.
you just watch MSNBC, you got no excuse. You're a moron.
So here's the kind of stuff he would tweet out. Real Donald Trump. While you were my choice in 2016, I and the world hoped that President Trump would be a different and better than the candidate. But we all were greatly disappointed, and it seems you are getting worse and devolving. Are you retarded? He says. I will be glad when you are gone. Wow.
We all were greatly disappointment, he said. Are you retarded?
So isn't that amazing? So he's concerned one of our leaders might have a mental defect. Okay, right. Anyway, man with gun barricades himself inside business. That's from Greensboro.com. This is December 18th, 2015, 2002.
Yeah.
But it's updated on January 24th, 2015. So it says, an armed man was arrested Monday morning after barricading himself in a business during a 3-hour standoff. Ryan Routh, that's who it was.
Yeah. He was well known for getting into armed confrontations with the police. Going back to the 80s, according to this officer Folk from Greensboro Police Department. So how is that guy walking around in a position to do anything? You know anybody else that can do that?
So he was pulled over about at 10 p.m. Sunday during a traffic stop, but he put his hand on a firearm and drove to United Roofing, where he remained barricaded inside, police said.
Yeah.
Wow. Here, there's more. Routh was charged with carrying a concealed weapon and possession of a weapon of mass destruction, referring to a fully automatic machine gun. He had a fully automatic machine gun. He was also charged with resisting, delaying, and obstructing a law enforcement officer and driving while licensed was revoked. So, what, you have anything else to add to this, Kurt?
No, I'm trying to calm this stupid cat down. I think he's an asset they used over and over. Once they get old, what's the harm? You can send him to do that Ukraine bullshit. And then you can pop his murder Sirhan program. And if he dies, good. He's 56. So what do you think they do with their old slaves when they're done? They try to use them as crash dummies, or they kill them, or they do something to them at a good old Bohemian Grove. But that stuff's real. And you're looking at it right now, and you're going to see it a lot more. And all the people are snitching that were in these programs. That's why I know this stuff.
So here's the interesting thing. Trump's golf outing was a last-minute decision, sources say. Well, then how did that guy know that Trump would be there golfing? That's interesting, isn't it? I think that's interesting. That's very interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Elon Musk, why are so many people raging for the machine? He tweeted that out yesterday. Max Blumenthal, why did you suspend Ryan Routh's account, and which national security agency compelled you to do so? Also, did you have access to his direct messages?
Good question from Max Blumenthal. Great question.
Great question.
Yeah.
Who directed you to do that, and do you still have access to his DMs? Of course he does.
Well, luckily, Ian Carroll, a bunch of people saved all this guy's stuff. We don't have the DMs, unfortunately. I bet they don't look good for the system.
Hey, I believe in having a substantial percentage of my financial future, meaning my retirement fund, secured with gold and silver. You know that. You know what I think about what's going to happen with the stock market. And that's why I decided to partner up with Colonial Metals Group. They helped me set up a safe and secure self-directed IRA where I have access to my assets no matter what the stock market, or for that matter, what the government is doing. Let the team of experts at Colonial Metals Group help you protect your family's future. We've put together a special offer for our audience. Click on the link in the description below or call a special 800 number and you're going to receive a safe and up to 10 grand in free silver. That's real. That could happen. Find out how that could happen. Go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show. So colonialmetalsgroup.com/Jimmy-Dore-show or call 888-910-1419. Hey, come see us live. We're doing our Rumble Time show September 27th in Los Angeles. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona, and we'll be in Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.